What is up, everybody? Thank you so much for joining us on this lovely, chilly, slightly windy Wednesday evening slash afternoon here in my hometown of Las Vegas. Um, this is Miguel Antonio Barragan, aka Fight Fiend Migs, joined as always by my co-host Andrew. Don't get it twisted, Lapichet, and this is the Mad Boxing Show. Thank you for joining us once more. We appreciate you guys' patience with my throat last week or on Sunday. I am feeling much better. Oddly enough, whenever I feel better is when my throat sounds the worst. I don't know why. It seems like it's kind of on the way out. So I was feeling fine. It's just that my throat sounded like one of the sisters from The Simpsons. So I appreciate you guys with our patience, with your patience, with also my technical difficulties. For some flipping reason, my headset wasn't working, or specifically the USB port of my laptop wasn't working, but somehow magically it's now working today. Now I'm here in the back. So for some reason it just doesn't want to comply. But that also means that my throat is still on the recovering. So if you see me take a swig of this mug here, I'm not like Andrew. I will not be drinking coffee. It is tea. It is honey and lemon and ginger and some other bullshit. Mom's like, drink this, drink this. I'm like, cool. I need it for the show because I'm gonna be yapping because we got plenty of freaking news. Plenty of damn news. By the way, as I mentioned earlier, it is a little bit windy here on my side of town. So if I get cut off, just stick with us. I'll be right back. I'll log right back in because sometimes my internet goes and comes back when it's super windy. But as of right now, it looks like it's calmed down some. And that means that we should be good to go. So we got plenty to talk about. As I mentioned, a couple of fight changes. Well, there's some fight announcements, but fight changes. I don't know what the equivalent of a fight announcement is, but I guess the opposite of a fight announcement. Unfortunately, we're not going to get Janibek and Lara on the PBC pay-per-view this Saturday, as Jenibek seems to have tested positive, pissed hot for something, and that unfortunately has caused him to withdraw. So that being said, Lara's got himself an opponent. We're going to be talking about that, of course. God damn it. And right as I say that, my damn camera starts to act up. Terrence Crawford decided to go to social media and voice his grievances over being stripped of the WBC super middleweight title. And he went on a rant talking about everybody and their mamas. Everybody got it, basically. When he went online, everybody got it. So we're going to be talking about all the things that he said. A couple of other WBC rulings, like I said, some fight announcements, some fights that we're going to see for the WBC championship, specifically the super middleweight that Crawford was just stripped of, and a couple of other fight announcements that I'm not quite sure what to think of, quite frankly, but it seems to be a week of fight announcements. But before we get into all of those details, because there are plenty to talk about, Andrew, what's going on, dude? How was your Wednesday going?
Doing good. I don't really got an exciting Wednesday. It's only work. I drive into the city, I work, and then I drive home. That's my Wednesday. Nothing exciting, Miguel. But no, it's nice. Weather's nice. Blue skies, cold as fuck. But at least it's not raining. So we're doing good.
I guess that's the saving grace, right? At least it's not raining. But I know you guys are much colder up there than we are down here. We're getting some wind. Are you guys getting some wind up there or not?
Nope. I'm looking at a flag right now. My neighbor's American flag is not moving, so no wind.
Oh damn! But it's still cold though, right? It's cold shit.
Yeah,
Like you need to be wearing
definitely.
jackets and shit. Yeah.
Definitely cold still.
You know what I noticed? I went to Alaska earlier this year, and it's crazy how like I never realized this. People have like different jackets for different like stuff. Like here in Vegas, it gets chilly, and you can have like a hoodie or like a zip up or something like that, and that's enough. Or even if it gets a little too cold, you can get one of those like fleece or Sherpa lined hoodies, and that does it. But over there, it's like they got it for every cold. They have like super duper cold. They have these big old jackets, and they have like semi cold. With have these like semi big jackets, and then when it's like sort of cold, they just have these regular hoodies. It's like those guys have everything, obviously, because they have different degrees of cold. Not like here in Las Vegas, but I noticed that.
Actually, I can tell you, Miguel, at
Yes.
10:13 a.m., it was 48.4 degrees on the roof that I was working on.
Oh damn! Oh, shit.
I have a picture of the outside air temp
Damn.
for my job. But yeah, it was fucking cold. I wanted to get off that roof. Yes, sir.
I can imagine. Hopefully you got off the roof nice and safe, right? You didn't have to break any OSHA laws jumping off that shit like you were the
Oh
Harley.
no, this is the city, so I have to
Oh.
actually access an apartment window to get out to the unit. Yeah. I don't even climb a ladder. It's like, you sure I can do that? Oh, yeah, I go right in. They already know about this. Oh, okay, whatever.
I'll take your
Lock,
word for it.
lock the door when you leave. I'm like, oh, whatever. I know. I'm like, cameras around me or something. You just head straight to the window and get out. You know what I mean? But it's like, yeah, they don't. The city's its own beast, man. They don't care. I was in someone's apartment today.
And you got the job done.
Yes,
End of
sir.
story, right? All right. So as we're recording here, I have my TV on in the background because there is PBC. Of course, there's a PBC event this weekend, Amazon Prime pay-per-view, and they're doing a media workout. So I'm kind of taking a look at that here while I'm in the background while I'm recording, because there has been some shakeup with this weekend's card. Let me go ahead and pull up one of my screenshots here that I sent to Andrew. But this kind of really, man, this card was going to be so fucking good, and it's still going to be good. I'm not going to say it's not going to be good, but damn it, it really is deflating when a fight like this falls through. Janibek, I can never pronounce his last name, so I'm not going to try, has delivered an adverse analytic finding for a performance-enhancing drug following a VADA test, sources tell the Ring's Mike Coppinger. Janibek's middleweight title unification versus Aries-Landia Lara on Saturday is in serious jeopardy. Lara, boxing's oldest male champion, could defend his WBC title against a different opponent. Now, this was earlier in the day, of course, because we now know that Janibek is completely officially out, and we have another opponent that is going to step in for Janibek, which we'll get to here momentarily. But before we talk about that, Andrew, what was your first impression when you read this? Did you feel like, God damn it, it was too good to be true? This PBC card was just too good to be true.
It's turning out that way for a lot of these cards that are stacked, it seems. This last year, this has happened more than once, where a fighter's dropped out and it's just made the card not so explosive, right? Janibek, he dropped the ball here, man. This is totally his fault. It sucks because this was the path to Terrence Crawford's future, right? And I don't think anyone wanted it to really be Lara. No knock to Lara, but I mean, they keep advertising the man as the oldest champion in boxing. It's not really a great selling point when you're going up against the best fighter in the world, right? So we kind of wanted Janibek to go in there, beat the boogeyman for the final time, get his belt, and let's move on. And so now that's on a pause. We still have the oldest man in boxing fighting, and Terrence Crawford looks to still not have a future. And with all the media that keeps saying he can fight David Benavidez, can we stop? Can we quit with the David Benavidez talk? If we want to get back on that later, it just annoys me how many people are like, "Oh, why don't you fight David then?" He went up there to fight Canelo. That was a one-time thing, and then he got out of there. I don't knock Terrence for not wanting to fight David. Now, I will say, let's go back to 154. There's some noise to be made at 154 if he can make it. Why not 154? But we will see what happens on Saturday. Maybe look, Lara gets a knockout. Maybe Terrence will be interested in the fight, and it's really not Terrence. It's us. Will the fans be interested in the fight, him versus Lara, right? Because it's a big drop off. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, Janibek, he's got some explaining to do. Look, he's saying that he passed a test, I believe, like 2 weeks ago. Don't hold me to that, but just let's say he passed his last test, right? Then test is dirty. A few weeks later, he's saying, no way, I didn't change anything. I've been on a strict diet. Vitamins have all been the same. So he said, test B. Let's go with, let's do the second test. So they're going to test B. I guess if that one comes back clean and he was clean previous test before the dirty one, then you scratch that A one maybe as contaminated, and he gets his he doesn't even get his O back because he hasn't been found guilty yet, but he gets cleared, right?
Mhm.
So that's all he can hope for. Now I guess we got to wait it out to see if the B one comes back dirty. Well, then we have an issue. Really, we drop him off because he's just a prospect.
Well, he's got 2 belts. So he's an official. It's supposed to be a
In this world,
yeah.
all right, I'll give you that he has 2 belts, but Janibek is a nobody to the boxing world.
Yeah, yeah.
He's gonna all of his wins come into question because he's been on the lower, been fighting the lower ranked guys.
Hmm.
So they all come into question, and I don't know if he can rebound. Like, he doesn't make a lot of money, so you're not going to see too many guys like wanting to fight this man, right?
Hmm.
He's gonna have to start from the bottom. Go to his hometown, work it up again. He's got a record. At least he has that behind him when he goes home. But I do not see him getting a break here in America after if this B test comes back dirty. It's possibly a game ender for him.
Yeah, I'm gonna read what he says here. This is him quoted, a recent quote, I should say. I have always supported a clean sport. I was surprised when I read the news. VADA took the first test and said everything was clean. I have not made any changes to my vitamins. I don't know what happened with the second test, so I requested a retest. So I'm not sure if what he means like a retest as in being testing again, or they pulled the B sample of that the same test that he took before. So I saw somewhere the specific name. I can't seem to find it, but I saw that he tested positive for a specific performance enhancing drug, and I forgot the name of it. But it's hard to pronounce like a motherfucker. But according to him, the first test came clean. The second one didn't come clean. So he's like, "Fuck it, let's do it a third time." And what you were trying to say earlier, Andrew, was just his chance of redemption. Yeah, he doesn't get his O back, but it's a chance of redemption. Either whether or not he tests clean the second time around. If it turns out clean, then he'll have that chance to redeem himself, right, for this weird anomaly. But if not, then it's to the back of the line. Chances are he's going to get stripped of his belts. We'll be talking about stripping belts later on, but chances are, those go away. Should PBC? I mean, in an effort to save the card, they throw in an opponent, which I'll get to here shortly. But should they have just scrapped the fight altogether and then hold off for the second test so they can at least maybe say, all right, fuck it, we're going to have you guys still fight and not maybe. Again, the opponent that they're going to put in with Lara isn't exactly that dangerous of a guy, but still, to not throw in any sort of monkey wrenches, should they have just postponed it?
If the second test can be, the results could come in that fast, why not? But I don't think they come in that fast.
Oh.
Yeah, I think that's going to have to get sent out to a lab. Don't ask me why, but I'm more than sure test result number 2 doesn't come in right away. So yeah, no, they usually don't get postponed. I'm going to say that this is kind of the ordinary, right? Is they just replace it and they move on. Lara's been working out. Lara deserves his check. You know what I'm saying? He's the oldest champion in the boxing world, so he doesn't have a lot of these opportunities left. So if I was their team, I would say give us an opponent. We're going to try to shine, and then hopefully Terrence and Turkey are interested in mine. He only has 1 title though now, right? Instead of there was about to be 3 of them, I guess is what you're saying. With
yeah, had he fought and won had he beat Janibek, then he would have 3 basically. But he's got 1 the WBA right now.
Yeah, that sucks. Now Terrence gonna have to fight a lot of guys. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it's like it'd be nice if it just like Terrence would be like, "Hey, can you just give Lara the belts? Just give him the belts. Just hand him over to him. Send him an email." That's another way we do it nowadays. This is a fight update from PBC's Instagram account. WBA middleweight world champion Aries Londi, the American Dream Lara, will defend his world title against hard-hitting challenger. I don't know how to pronounce the first name. Joan. It's Johan or Juan Gonzalez, as part of a loaded 4-fight PBC pay-per-view event available on Prime. Yada yada yada. Lara was originally scheduled to face unified champ Janibek, who was pulled from his fight after failing VADA anti-doping test. So Joan or Joan, I guess more Joan Gonzalez. If that name doesn't ring a bell, I'm not surprised. I myself, when I saw that name, I was like, where have I read this? Where have I read this name before? And then I saw who he was, and I was like, oh shit, I think I interviewed him back in the fucking Fight Net radio days. That's like when I interviewed him, I was like, oh shit, I know this dude. I know. I mean, unfortunately, it didn't go well for him back then. He lost the fight that he was supposed to fight then, but um, his most recent fight, either his most recent one or the one before that one, was a victory over Jarrett Hurd, which is something. Hurd is already on the way out. He literally beat him into retirement, essentially. Gonzalez ended up winning a split decision. So afterwards, Hurd called it a career and retired in the ring. But a victory over Jarrett Hurd, that's something, right? He has a loss to Jesus Ramos Jr., who is going to be on the undercard against Shane Mosley of this same card as well. So I've seen him. I know the guy can throw. He can take a fucking shot. That's for damn sure. I considering Lara is kind of planting his feet over the last few years and not moving as much and throwing down. I think these guys are gonna fucking throw down. It won't be obviously the same fight that it would have been with Lara and Janibek, but I do think that Gonzalez has enough chin to hang in there with Lara. I see this being a 12-round decision for Lara. I don't think Lara's going to be able to finish him because this dude is pretty sturdy. But regardless, yeah, that kind of throws a damper into the whole situation. Not only is that fight been substituted, or at least Janibek has been substituted, but they also rearranged the card. Janibek and Lara was supposed to have been the co-main event on this Saturday's card behind Pitbull Cruz and Lamont Roach. But now it falls to, I think, third. So if I'm not mistaken, Foster and Fulton now is bumped up to co-main event. So now they're the co-main event, which is still a good fight. Don't get me wrong. It's just not the explosive what I thought we were gonna see with Janibek and Lara, and like maybe the official crowning of the new middleweight champion Janibek, and then potentially fighting Crawford or something. Unfortunately, that's not longer going to be the case. Should they have done that, Andrew? Should they have like rearranged the card too? Because they did, but I'm thinking, can we just leave? Couldn't we have just left Lara and Gonzalez? Because Gonzalez comes to throw, Lara can't move anymore, so he basically has to throw too. It would still be a pretty solid, entertaining co-main event to lead to the main event. Now we're going to get a very much slower tactical fight still with Fulton and Foster as the co-main event, but should they have just left it as it is with Lara as the main event, as a co-main?
I mean, I see what you're saying about the excitement level for the fans. That's a good call for on a producer level. I don't really know, if it's good. It will hurt if one fight is more exciting and then we go to a snooze fest, right? So that will hurt. I'm more interested in the opponent that they replaced him with, his punching power. This guy's coming in with everything to prove here, where Lara this is kind of a downer for him, right? His excitement level is not going to be the same. So I'm going to be interested in what the odds are on that fight, what they have, what the distance, going the distance or not. Just because Lara has changed, this guy is looking to change his life in this fight, and I don't know if Lara is going to have the same fire going in the ring. But yeah, putting it lower. I like Fulton and Foster though. Hopefully they show up because I do like the matchup.
All right. I was trying to mute my mic here to like not cough into the mic. Am I muted right now or no? Can you get me?
I didn't hear you.
Okay, cool. I was trying to like mute it as I was coughing, but that's a very good point. Gonzalez is gonna come in here really with nothing to lose. You know what I'm saying? Like he or at least he should come in there with that attitude, right? Like, hey, I'm tossed in here kind of like last minute. I can make a name for myself. Even if I end up winning, holy fuck, would Crawford want to come and take my belt? Hey, this is a major payday for me. It could really be like a career changer, a life changer, I should say, for Gonzalez if he can pull off the upset. And because this was just announced, of course, I don't know what the odds are, but Lara would have gone from the underdog against Janibek to now the favorite. So I'm not sure if that changes things, but it definitely does for Gonzalez. I mean, that definitely puts him in a position to potentially get himself a victory and a belt, and maybe put himself in really, really good position for something future, something big down the line, right? A kind of like a Rolly Romero, like, hey, I got a belt. Want to come and beat me for my belt? Want to come and take it? Sign a check and I'll hand it over. I mean, not hand it over, but you know what I'm saying. But anyway, that does kind of like suck though that we're gonna switch it because I mean, no knock on Foster and Fulton, but that fight's gonna be more of a tactical one. It's gonna be a little bit slower, and it's gonna be one of those. What was it? I forgot what card it was. I might have been Canelo Berlanga, I think it was the co-main event. I forgot what it was, but it was like great fight. Oh, I think it was Pitbull actually, and somebody else, Fierro. And then like that was a killer fight. And then the next fight was like, as a matter of fact, it might have been Fulton actually. I think it was Fulton and Figueroa. And then it was like Canelo Munguia or Berlanga or who the fuck it was. And it's like, damn it, it just totally killed the vibe because that Fierro and Pitbull fight really lit a fire. But Lara's still in the card. The card is still intact, right? It changed to some degree, but hasn't exactly ruined the card by any stretch. The card is still pretty solid. It just kind of deflates a little bit, right? We're not as excited as we would have been otherwise. But before I move on to the next topic, real quick, quick shout out to Chris Eubank Jr. He posted recently that he was having some like health issues or something like that, right? Which is pretty serious. He posted something on social media, him in a hospital bed. So we here at Mad Boxing wish him a speedy recovery because that weight cut to make 160 and then ultimately that loss to Conor Benn was pretty rough. So it took a lot of shots in that fucking fight. So hopefully he's okay. He mentioned that he's been having some health issues recently and stuff like that, and won't return to the ring until that gets cleared up. So let's hope that has happened and things get cleared up. Even if he doesn't return to the ring, it's a matter of just making sure that he's nice and healthy. So hopefully everything goes well with Chris Eubank Jr. here. All right, so this matchup that we were anticipating here with Lara and Janibek, that was news earlier in the week, right? But recently, like either today or yesterday, I think it was, there was a WBC convention somewhere in Indonesia. I forgot what the fuck it was, somewhere out there, right? And there were some announcements that were made that has ruffled a lot of feathers, brought out a lot of opinions from a lot of fans. And one of those decisions that they made was to strip Terence Crawford of his super middleweight championship. Now, according to Mauricio Suleiman, he says it has to do with Crawford not wanting to pay the $300,000 sanctioning fee, which was 0.6% or something like that, which is not the standard 3% that champions normally pay, because he got paid bank, obviously, for this Canelo fight, right? So they weren't going to go after 3% of that fucking pay your purse, I should say. So Terence Crawford gets stripped. So, we figured that he wasn't going to stay at super middleweight, right? We kind of figured that part anyway. And we thought the only reason he would stay at super middleweight is a possible rematch with Canelo. It has been reported that Crawford himself says, give me $100 million and we can make this Canelo fight rematch happen. After what we've heard as far as the Saudis maybe cutting back on their spending, it doesn't sound like that's going to happen. So now with no WBC belt, that puts into question even more whether or not we're going to get a Crawford and Canelo rematch May of 2026. But before we get into Terence Crawford's rebuttal, Andrew, what did you think of this? When you first read this, does it seem fair? Like he didn't follow the rules, but it seems like they bend the rules for other people, don't they?
I don't know about this rule. And the reason why, all right, look, when it first happened, I thought exactly what you just said, bro. He's not going to go back to the super middleweights. If him and Canelo fight, I don't think they need a belt for people to show up, right? So that's why he dropped it. He doesn't need to give him his money. Smart move by Terence, right? Then Suleiman drops the bomb that, what is it, 75% of this money goes to some WBC retirement fund?
Yeah, yeah, to help older fighters, something like that, retired fighters.
And that's when everyone slapped their head and said, what the fuck, Terence? Okay? Because you got to pay your dues. Look, we all got dues, bro. And he's got dues on a higher level because he's making $20 million for a night of work. Right? So now it looks bad. Now it looks bad. I know 300 grand is a lot, but you're going to be 60. You're going to be 70 one day too,
Mm-hmm.
and you might need something, right? We all, hey, I pray health and good fortune for you throughout your life. But sometimes we hit rough patches, right?
You certainly
And
do.
you don't want to go and try to lean on. Well, he's not going to be able to lean on anyone, I don't think, at the WBC if this doesn't get taken care of. Because from what I'm told, look at stupid. What I'm reading,
It's all right.
there
You got
is
your
no
sources.
more.
You got your sources.
Yeah, there is no more. What I'm told. Um, he's done it twice. Did you hear that?
Yes, yes. That is not the first time that he's not paid. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's not cool. Because now that's a lot of money that some guys that are actually really desperate for money, they kind of need the big dogs to pitch in, right? That's kind of you just, man, it's just you helping out. You're helping the whole cause, right? So, and seriously, if you manage your money right, one $20 million payday should be enough in your lifetime. That's if you're a smart person,
Mhm.
right? He's probably going to have multiple $20 million paydays, $10 million paydays, $5 million. Pay your dues, man. Pay your dues. It sucks. I don't like to talk about another man's finances, but Miguel, I probably would have had my lawyers, hoping Terrence has them. I'm talking on rich people sense. I would have had my lawyers look into that statement about how much of this money really does go to a fund that Suleiman then can't go to the off-sea shores account and fucking deposit half of it into there and give everyone the middle finger. But if the account's legit and it's actually giving money to fallen other uh foreign
No, veteran fighters.
veteran fighters,
Yeah.
thank you, veteran fighters, then yeah, dude, I'm all in. I know Floyd used to do it. I want to say that was one of Floyd's good sides of him, is that he never bowed down on paying the WBC or giving his money to retired fighter funds and all that. So I know, I think Terrence, we're going to talk about Terrence a little bit more. I think I know what he was trying to do. I don't like this one.
Mm.
This can come back to bite him too. If I was Terrence, I would sit down with the WBC and try to get this resolved. I really would.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I have heard that, as you mentioned, that it's not the first time that he's done that. And
But your sources told you the same.
right, right. I received a phone call earlier today. I'm receiving a tweet right now as we're talking, as we speak, that my sources tell me that it's not the first time that he's done this. As a matter of fact, on the post that I saw online of Mauricio Suleiman talking about how part of this money goes to like some sort of retired fund or some organization that helps out with veteran fighters. He talks about that, right? And there's a lot of comments under that post. I saw one from Andre Durrell, or it might have been Anthony Durrell, but one of the Durrell brothers, saying, hold up, what? This money goes to who? This is the first time I'm hearing about this kind of thing, right? And it's like, is this legit, really? Because now it does make Crawford look pretty bad, but he says, like, who specifically has this helped? Now he's starting to ask questions. A lot of people are asking questions. I found it funny that at the very end of that clip, it was like a clip I saw of Mauricio Suleiman. At the very end, he says, "I'm relieved, to be honest, that he's not the champion anymore." That seemed a little rough. I was like, oh, damn, okay, shit, like I'm relieved to get this over with, I suppose, right? But he says, I wish him all the best. I wish him like yada yada. And he says, but I'm relieved that he's not the champ anymore, pretty much. So that seemed kind of weird. At the very end, I was like, was that a little dig, motherfucker? What the fuck was that about? Like, I'm relieved he ain't holding our belt anymore or some shit. I don't know.
Well, Miguel, they're definitely not making their money off of him.
Right. Right.
So he's useless to Suleiman.
Yeah. Yeah, he is. He really is. But that threw me for a loop, man. I was like, damn, man. And at first, when I saw that he was stripped of the belt, I thought, oh, what the fuck happened? Why would have they done that? Because they let other people hold the belts for a long as fucking time. But if they pay the sanction fees, I guess that rule counts. I guess that makes it okay for them to hold on to the belts for as long as they did. However long Canelo was the champ and Benavidez was the fucking mandatory and never got the crack at it. He paid his sanction fees. I assume so, right?
And I think we got to get it out there that I don't believe this is an EBT card situation, right? Like you're not putting in an application to the WBC and going, "Hey, I'm broke. Can you just pay my rent?" I don't think it's for injuries. This is for medical bills. Okay, let's not get it fucking twisted here. I know Darrell was like, "Wait a minute, wait a minute. I'm broke. Where's my money?" It's not a retirement fund. You know what I'm saying? I think this is for when one of their guys go down in their sanctioned bouts or a champion who held their belts and they're in dire need of money for big reasons, not for rent, not for Burger King.
Right.
Yeah, all right. Just
not because your kid's baptism is coming up and you gotta buy some booze. Like, none of that shit. None of that shit.
He's all putting in the. I gotta throw a birthday party. My daughter's first party, bro. Can I get 10 racks?
Yeah. Like she asked for a jumpy thingy, guys. We got to get one of those inflatable jumpy thingies.
Adrian Broner immediately texts him.
Yeah. He's like, "Have you seen my court fees, motherfucker? Do I count as retired?"
Yeah. I know, right?
But the WBC made some unusual calls. I mean, not unusual calls, but these surprising, right? And one of which we're gonna get to here in a little bit. But that kind of triggered the stripping of the WBC title of Terrence Crawford. Kind of triggered him, so he decided to go to his tweet or. Well, I say twits because it's like an X now, right? Tweeter. So I don't know. Do you exit whatever the hell the X means? But he went to Twitter, to social media.
It's one of the biggest unknowns. You know that?
Yeah. What the hell would you call it?
It's almost like everyone does what you just did. Like what formerly was known as Twitter. Like Elon needs to figure that shit out already. He needs to tell everyone what the fuck this X is. What are we supposed to call it? And we can move on. Because you're right, dude. I hear that so much. Well, formerly known as Twitter was on today.
Formerly known as a tweet, now known as AKA the artist formerly known as a tweet. Terrence Crawford decided to go to his social media saying, "You know what, Suleiman, take your damn belt. You just mad that I beat your boy Canelo." Oh, damn. All right. Throwing that in there, saying everybody's just mad because I beat Canelo. Let me read how many of them he's got here. I find it crazy how many people run with this Crawford don't sell BS, talking about, him not selling tickets. Any fighter I fought besides Khan, when he fought Canelo, I fought them at their best. I can't sell though. He's pissed off that people saying that he's not a money maker, that he's not a ticket seller, I suppose is what he says. That's one of the things that he says here. Let me see one of his other tweets here. He decided to go in hard on Manny Pacquiao too, saying, "Man, I would have beat fucking Manny." He was giving props to the people that came before him, right? The Floyds and the Manny, but talking about how they kept him from fighting Manny Pacquiao. And as a matter of fact, Andrew, I could have sworn you told me this too, right? You're like, dude, Top Rank kind of dropped the ball by not making Crawford and fucking Manny. Crawford himself saying, "Hey, y'all kept me from fucking Manny. I would have whooped his ass too." Is he right there? What is
look, well, yeah, no, definitely he would have been the favorite. I think Freddie and them didn't want that fight. There was an age gap there. We kind of already knew Manny's weakness was he couldn't stop a right hand. Right. It was so yeah, all they wanted was to be overpaid. And this is that moment in boxing where I think Bob Arum and them kind of knew Terrence was going to be in the position that he's in today. There's not a market. I'm sorry. Bob was right. That's why he didn't overpay for you to get that win against Pacquiao. What would he got him? Another $20 million payday maybe with Canelo years later? But I don't think the PBC still fights you. They wouldn't fight you without him. They're not going to fight you with the win. They definitely wouldn't have fought at you if you beat him.
They would have avoided him even worse. They're like, "Damn, this fucking beat Manny." At the very least, Manny lost the belt to.
He 2 streets away, and then they'll be like, "Damn, that's so tight. He's on the other side of the street." Remember when people used to think that shit was cool, bro?
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me right now?
Yeah, not like, no, you're on the other fucking continent, this motherfucker now.
Yeah.
Let me read this other tweet from Crawford. Oscar De La Hoya said Manny Pacquiao would have beaten me because he got stopped by Manny. Look, I would have fucked you up, Pacquiao, and whoever thought you would have beat me can shut the fuck up. Just because I'm responsible doesn't mean shit. I'm not sure what the hell that means, but yeah. So now a clap back at Oscar saying, dude, just because Manny beat your ass, that mean he fucking beats my ass. So quit saying that he would have whooped my ass. He goes on to say, I tried to fight Manny Pacquiao way back in 2015. Um, and they hide him. Oh, his texting is they hid him. Was what he's trying to say from me. They put the word hide, but it's meant to hid. They hid him from me, so I didn't get too big too soon. They wanted to keep milking him because he was the cash cow. Damn, he's just letting everybody have it, right? Let me see what his other tweets have to say. 2015, that sounds about right, right? That sounds about right as far as the timeline goes. Let's see what other one he's got going on here, because he's got plenty of them. What does he say? These motherfuckers be in your face when they see you. They be hating because you're doing something they couldn't do. I'd be happy for the generation after me to do big things, but it's a lot of fighters that came before me that hating on the younger fighters. So he's letting everybody have it, including Maurice Suleiman going as far as to say, man, you can have your goddamn belt. You're just mad because I beat your boy.
I feel like Terrence lost his title and went to a bar. These have bar vibes behind them, bro. I don't know. The cussing, the aggression. Was he really mad when he was writing these tweets? Like, come on, man. Like, you know,
this is like ex-girlfriend type tweets.
Yeah, 2015 does not prove that you beat a Manny Pacquiao in his prime. Right? That Manny was already, the blueprint was already out on him when Top Rank was not getting you the fight or avoiding you. And I really don't think that was the case at all. I've already said it. I think it was always Terrence Crawford. I think Top Rank are some of the smartest people in the business, and they probably seen it was either his attitude or his look. Maybe he didn't like change. Maybe they said, hey man, let this we got this person wants to, they're gonna change your wardrobe a little. They're gonna no, hell no, I'm only doing this way, I'm me. And you know what? You're always gonna be you then.
Well, how about marketability? I mean, that's the number one thing, right? It's like this motherfucker can't sell for shit. I mean, I'm sure they tried. And I'll be honest, look, I was a Crawford fan when he unified the division against Victor Postal. It was here at the MGM or Mandalay Bay. I forgot which one was. I went to it. Dude, there was nobody in that fucking arena. I was able to buy relatively decent seats for a undisputed, super lightweight or junior welterweight, which we're going to be talking about here momentarily because of this weekend's fight. But that division, granted, it didn't have as hot names as it does right now, but he mopped the floor with everybody there, and there wasn't that many people there. As far as like the tickets weren't pricey, they were okay, and I tried to splurge. They were like $200 tickets, so they weren't like over the top, but there were decent seats. I wasn't down on the floor by any stretch. I was a little bit up, because frankly, if you ever go to a fight, it's always a bad idea to be on the floor because you're looking up because of how elevated the ring is. So you want to be a few rows back anyway. But he fought Victor Postal, mopped the floor with him, and I fucking had a blast. But ain't nobody was there. You know what I'm saying? And this was 2017, something like that. Maybe 2016, roughly.
I believe Bob Arum used to complain about that too. That he put in no effort to sell himself. Was very limited on social media. He's barely started the social media stuff, and it seems not to be going good so far. You know what I mean? If this is how you're going to respond, is by what sounds like you were probably drinking when you wrote those. I don't think he was doing that with the clear head. So, and maybe he was, but I would like to, if there's a video or something out on it, I would like to see the video, because I bet you he was feeling himself when he wrote those. And he still got that issue. I think that's what's holding him up with the Canelo rematch. Turkey and them are probably wondering, is it really worth it? This is going to be another better Beav and Bivol situation where they double down and it still doesn't pay out. This double down is going to cost them twice as much, though.
Yeah, it is. And this is how I know that Terrence was drinking, because he was listening on our show and he took one of your lines, Andrew. One of his tweets here says, "I respect Manny. Don't get it twisted."
Yeah.
Right? He says it. But he's been knocked out once before. If you know boxing, then I would have taken a lot of chances and definitely that. I just asked this coach. But
the best. I told you Terrence the best, right?
So he's a fan of the show apparently. But he was like, "Oh, that Andrew guy always says it. He says it right on the money. Don't get it twisted, y'all." But yeah, it kind of sucks, right? They're gonna no more WBC champ. I don't know what would be the case with some of the other championships because I know nothing has been said about those other ones because he still holds the other ones, right? He still holds the WBO and IBF and WBA and all of them. He does talk about on the topic of a video because he does go online and he's recording himself. I think while he's driving. Another bad idea. I hope he isn't drinking at that point too.
Oh
But he's
shit.
basically like driving and he's talking about then that's when he says the shit like, "Now you're just mad because I beat your fucking boy," kind of
Okay.
thing. That's when he
Okay.
says that. So he doesn't say all this shit. All this is like on Twitter or X or whatever. But he does also put on or post some other video in regards to that. So he went on this fucking rant, man. I don't know if I mean, it just seems like dude was just super fucking butthurt, right? I mean, that's pretty much what it was, and maybe there was a substance in him that would kind of get him all up in his feels and decided to go to social media. So anyway, yeah, but he's got a whole bunch of other stuff on there, but it's just not the kind of look you want to see. I don't know, is he going in this direction to kind of be the bad guy, to be the Money Mayweather, to maybe be like, wow, what a dick, I want to see him get his ass beat the way we did Floyd, and then there would be more interest in him. He's going to take the bad guy role now.
That was my first thought, Miguel, when I seen how he went after all the big heads, right? I mean, he's trying to go viral. He's trying to get clicks. He drop, I'll knock out Manny De La Hoya and Flo. I mean, those are some pretty big fan bases you went after, right? Then the whole, not paying the WBC. It just seemed like maybe he's trying to do a character switch, right? Which is not I don't know if it's going to work for him. I really don't. I know everyone thinks that's the easy path. That's the easy way to go. Floyd was so much more before he became Money Man, right?
Yeah, he was pretty boy. He was pretty boy Floyd, right? Still.
Yeah, the Olympian. He was the Olympian when he first came out, and then he's pretty boy. He probably was. Yeah, he was supposed to probably be the next Sugar Ray Leonard before the next bad boy of boxing.
Yep.
So yeah, I don't. We'll see if it works. I don't think it will. Terrence should just sit down, get the best fights he can, get the most money he can for what, make it an honest offer. These ridiculous demands of 100 million need to go away. That falls into the thought process that I was talking about on Sunday, where these guys think, oh, well, wait, I'm 30 and 43 and 0. I should be making this now. And it's not about that. It's not your record. It's you. Are they buying you? Are the fans attracted to you? Are the guys' girlfriends and wives attracted to you? That's big.
Yeah,
You
no, that
double
is.
your
Yeah.
ticket sales, man. When your fucking girl goes, especially your girl, no, she's not home. That's like, yeah, we say it that loud as she was home.
You shouldn't have told us that. We should have told everybody be like, oh,
he's setting it off tonight.
Yeah,
Sleeping on the couch. No, just kidding. But no, Miguel, when you go to one of those fights, the girls know that he's a good looking fighter, and all the other single girls are going to be there going, fuck no, you ain't going by yourself. I'm going to. Either they want to see him or they just want to watch you not fuck up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that plays into him. That's what he needs. I don't know if being a dick at the last two fights of your career is going to make you a household name.
Yeah. Let's see what direction he goes from here after this. Is he gonna? And one of the videos, or the video that Marissa Suleiman was talking in, that was posted on the WBC Instagram account, was that he didn't even get an apology from Terrence Crawford. Like nothing. Like he was just like, he didn't even say I'm sorry or anything like that. It's like, okay, well, fuck you then. I guess this is the direction we're gonna go. So,
maybe some guys are supposed to be Floyd, bro, and some guys are supposed to be Bernard Hopkins. And maybe Terrence is gonna fall into that Bernard Hopkins, where he was legend as fuck, probably one of the top 5 of that era. Just doesn't get the same respect or the payout. No, he got the respect, but the money, right? So maybe Terrence needs to just cope with it, deal with it. piece of humble pie and move the fuck on, because there's money out there to be made, and Turkey will pay him good, right?
Mm.
And hopefully they will get an opponent down the road. Maybe one of the 154 guys, one of those Ortiz, Fundura, Zayas, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that his name? Zayas, yes, correct.
Xander Zayas, yeah.
Zayas, yeah. Puerto Ricans, Mexicans, maybe one of them will come up with the whole country that's backing them. You know what I'm saying? A whole race, and then you'll have your mega fight on your way out. But
yeah, that was actually the next part of my question here, because you mentioned like why not come down to 154 again, right? That's kind of that was the second part of this here. I'm not sure if he can go down. I mean, he did. Virgil Ortiz is on record saying that Terrence himself told him like, yeah, I'm not coming down 154 anymore. So yeah, that was then, not whenever the hell it was, several months back, of course. Now, after this has happened, maybe there's a change of heart and maybe he decides to, but I'm not so sure. I mean, he's not that big of a dude anyway, right? Talking about Crawford, but isn't that a bad idea to go all the way back down to 154? Like we suspect, well, we thought at least that he was going to jump to 160 before even making the jump to 168, but he didn't. He went straight to 168. Now it looks like, I mean, we kind of always understood that he wasn't going to stay at 168 anyway and just drop back down. But going back down all the way down 154, that is a pretty solid. I mean, that's a beast of a fucking a weight class. So I don't know if he would want to deplete himself to that degree to be against those fucking monsters. 160 against the guy who might be Lara Gonzalez to get a belt, maybe. But I don't know, 154.
that's only if they can. I will tell you that the 160 looks like a lost division right now. With Janibek giving up 2 of those titles now to be vacated, I don't know if Terrence is interested in 3 fights against nobodies. You got to give me some good opponents that are going to gobble up these titles. Oh, no. Plant and Charlo is going to be at 168. That's not 160, right? All right, that's 168. You would have to give me some opponents that are going to gobble up these titles. I don't have my damn tablet. I left that out there in the living room, and so I can't look up
this is one thing. Yeah, one of the things that I wanted to bring up is part of the second topic that we're going to roll into is some of the other decisions that the WBC made, one of which is ordering WBC challenger or WBC champion Carlos Adames to defend his middleweight belt against this dude whose name I'm not even going to try to butcher. Again, it's not a money fight, but he can beat Carlos Adames. No, maybe he can. 160.
No, he definitely can. But does he want to do it for $2 million? Because that fight ain't generating anything else. Turkey'd be a damn fool if he gives him anything. Because I mean, what are they gonna make? Where do you put this fight? That's one of those fights. Hey, remember that plan I told you about? Maybe they take him to his hometown. Maybe Carlos Adames is a fight you can put at a venue over there in Nebraska. See if you can pack it up with a bunch of college kids, sell out the house, make some money, make the money on that end. I really don't know, but it's not going to do shit in Vegas. Do not put that thing in Vegas. Do not put it in Riyadh. I'm just being real, right? They're not going to come to these, especially Las Vegas right now, where you just hear of all these gouging. Carlos Adames and Terrence Crawford as the main event is not bringing boxing fans out there. So, no, that's this. I said, give me a name. It's got to be someone that moves the needle, bro. Like,
I mean, because those are the champs. It's Carlos, it's Lara, it's Janibek. Those guys are the champs. I mean,
no, but Janibek's gone now.
No, at least for the time being. Because
you're right.
Unless he ends up, testing good on the next test. But on the undercard of this weekend's fight, we have Jesus Ramos Jr. and fucking Mosley Jr. So those are other middleweights that are going to be name caliber. Those are the ones that pop into my head.
So, all right. So in this lost division of the middleweight division now, if I'm Terrence Crawford, I have to look at how many fights I have left in my career, because you're gunning for one more big one. And maybe it's not Canelo. Maybe that fight, you know what? I don't want to do it for 10 million. You guys aren't giving me a raise. I'm moving on. Maybe they both just walk away. Canelo might not want to come down on his price either. How about if he pulls one of those, right? Like, no, I'm not doing that to give him more money. So let's say that one goes away. Terrence is going to have to sit down with this team and make out a fight plan. Are we doing 5 fights, 3 fights? Do I have 2 fights left? Because, bro, if say they have 5, then yes, maybe you can make a plan to clear up the middleweight division, right? And maybe 2 or 3 fights. You have 2 guys fight each other somewhere so they can unify, and then you guys will meet, 2 and 2 later on. Unify somewhere, maybe. And then by that time, Turkey will tell him one of the junior middleweights will be ready to move up and fight you in a.
You mentioned it just a few moments ago, kind of unintentionally. You mentioned Charlo, but not that Charlo. How about the other Charlo that has been at 154 for a hot minute? He wants to come back. He's got beef with Charlos, I guess in general, with Terrence. Terrence was doing like grabbing his crotch or whatever after he beat Spence. I'm not sure which specific Charlo he was doing that to, but if the other Charlo is, the 168 one is busy with Plant, well, the other one should be, he's been at 154 for a hot minute. Maybe it's time for him to move up to middleweight and we get ourselves some sort of, grudge match between that Charlo and Crawford.
I wouldn't want that one off the bat. So I'm all in on Charlo because he's a name. That's a good name that would sell. He's got to take out Adame. And then Terrence got to take out Lara. Or vice versa, because Lara's PBC, maybe. Well, yeah, maybe Charlo and Lara fight somewhere, and then Terrence fights Adame, and then those 2 winners fight each other. But I would want Charlo to at least prove himself, right, one time, because hasn't he? He's been away a while. He's been through he got a lot of demons in his life. I don't really know. I don't want another Spence situation, right, where he gets in the ring and all of a sudden we realize he can't see.
Yeah.
He's like, did a jab just drop him? The fuck am I watching, bro? I just spent $90 on this fucking thing.
Like, someone throw a brick in this fucking house? Who's throwing rocks in this bitch? The fuck? I'm getting punches from all over the goddamn place. So on that subject, the WBC has made quite a few announcements, right? As we mentioned, one of them is about the welterweight division, saying that Conor Benn is confirmed as the mandatory for the winner of Ryan Garcia and Mario Barrios. So I guess that means, at least in theory, that should Ryan win, it's not looking like a Haney rematch or any of the other champions, or Manny for that matter. Although maybe there will be, they might give Conor some step aside money. Like, cool, I'll take it, no big deal. Or we don't think Conor's that kind of guy, because he always got that chip on his shoulder. He's always got that pissed off looking look, like, no, don't pull me aside, motherfucker. I want to face you. So it looks like he's got the winner. Based off of what we heard recently with Ryan Garcia now being trained by his pops, it's a pretty good chance that Barrios might come away with the win. Barrios and Conor Benn, all right, that sounds pretty decent. Okay, not as I guess ticket selling as maybe Conor Benn and Ryan Garcia, but well, that puts him in line regardless. What do you think of that decision?
I like it. It looks like boxing's headed towards a good place. Everybody's in line. The Ring Magazine's in line with Turkey. They're trying to make the biggest fights. So here we go. 2026 should be lit, right? 2025 was a great start. But I think Conor wants Devin Haney. Them two have been beefing, and Haney makes way more money right now. Did you hear Haney made $16 million in his last fight? That blew my
shit. No kidding. Against fucking Brian Norman?
Yeah, his last fight.
Yeah, what was damn. Okay.
That's what I said. I was like, where does he generate?
Are we back to this overpaying bullshit again?
I don't know, man, but that guy makes money. If he's generating that type of money where they're breaking him off, why would you want to fight Barrios? I want to go on pay-per-view and fight Haney.
Yeah.
Haney's pretty known in the UK, right? There'd probably be a lot of UK guys that'd be interested in that fight. Netflix, wink, wink. Right?
Yeah.
So when I seen, now it looks like Conor's accepting it. Conor's like, now, because at first, remember, they were all, another thing I don't understand, Raleigh, Romero, talking about you. Fuck are we, I don't want to fight Haney. He's boring. He's boring. Shut the shit up. Call it like it is. Either say it's a money thing or he's too good. I don't know, but don't tell me you don't want to fight someone because they're boring. That dude makes millions of dollars. He would set you up to make $1 million. Please quit with the bullshit.
Yeah, and how about you not make it boring? That's kind of your job. You go in there, you cut off the ring. If you're gonna fight like Jose Ramirez, well then I guess not. Then I guess you're right. Then fuck, it's gonna be boring. But if you're gonna go in there and make him fight, force him to fight, cut off the ring, fuck him around, make it rough if you need to. Do so. Why not?
And like with the Conor one, dude, I thought it had been an easy fight for Conor Ben. Like with that rage that you bring in, the game plan you just said, take your rage, be the aggressor, take him to the ropes. All he's gonna do is run. All he's gonna do is hold. Beat the fuck out of him. Let's make this money.
Yeah, make this money and take his belt. Why not? Kill two birds with one stone.
There might be a little fear in those guys. I'm telling you, I just think they don't know which Haney's the real Haney yet, right? Because Haney sure did have a great rebound. Clean. Not like Ryan, who came back overweight on drugs, probably on two kinds of drugs. Don't even know what was in his system that day on that fight week or whatever. So he came back pretty impressive, and I think it might be a little bit of nerves to want to take a defeat from Devin Haney. All right,
could be. They were looking like, damn, he's good. Fuck, he's good. It might be looking one of those like, nah, we'll just call him boring, call it a day, and step over this motherfucker.
Yep.
One of the other decisions that WBC made is that, besides, and this one specifically regarding the stripping of Terrence Crawford's WBC belt, is that now Hamza Shiraz will be taking on Christian Mbili for the super middleweight title after stripping Crawford. Now, these fights haven't been announced as far as like dates go, but basically they're saying these two dudes got to fight for this one, and Barrios and Ryan. I didn't watch the convention, but I most certainly would have liked some sort of answer as to why Ryan Garcia jumps the fucking line and gets a shot at Barrios for that belt when Ryan hasn't even won at fucking welterweight, for crying out loud. But I digress. In Christian Mbili and Hamza Shiraz. Now, I'm not sure if it was the Terrence Crawford and Canelo fight, but Shiraz, or it might have even been the was it that one? Shit, I'm trying to think. Maybe it was the rematch of Conor and Chris Eubank. But anyway, Shiraz was being interviewed outside of the ring by Claudia Trejo, and basically she's like, "Hey, any fight announcements coming up? You're gonna be back?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, I got something planned." Yada yada. And he's like, "All right, who?" She's like, "Who?" And he's like, "Well, I can tell you, like, I gotta, you'll find out soon enough." Well, looks like this is it. I'm down for this one. I'm hella down for this one. Knowing I feel bad for Lester Martinez, who had that draw with Mbili. I would have liked for them to go at it again. That would have been pretty tight if they can get a rematch. At least get Lester in there one more time, or maybe Lester gets the winner of this. I don't know, but this is not a bad fucking fight. I'm down for this one, considering how aggressive Christian Mbili is and his punch output. He's not gonna let Shiraz rest for shit, and Shiraz. He's not going to get no timid ass fucking Berlanga. He's going to get a monster in front of him. So I'm totally down for this one, although I feel bad for Lester being left out of the picture here. But pretty solid fight for, the newly vacated WBC belt, huh?
Yeah, no, definitely excellent fight. Maybe Martinez gets on the undercard and will take on the winner. It would be smart. It's just a good fight to put together. I don't even know if there was a favorite when they made this one, because this is not an easy fight for Shiraz, who's still on the come up himself. You know what I mean? So this is a decent fight. Yeah, I don't know who's got the upper hand here. And Billy might be going, he's younger. I already know what Martinez brings. That guy brings hell, Maybe you want to go with the inexperience of Shiraz, see what that's like, Maybe he might be in a better position than taking on that fire again. So we'll see. But no, definitely an excellent fight.
And one of the other ones that they announced, and we mentioned his name recently because he was sparring with Jake Paul, is Lawrence Okolie, former cruiserweight champ, I believe, fighting the other name in the weight class, in heavyweight, I should say, Moses Itauma, if I can ever pronounce his name properly. They're going to be in a title eliminator. So sounds like the winner of this goes on to face Usyk. I mean, Usyk still has the belt, right? He dropped the WBO belt, or I forgot which one it was, but he still has a WBC belt as far as I know. So I guess the winner of these guys will get him. I suppose.
You know,
Usyk himself has said he wants Wilder next. That's kind of out of left field. But what were you gonna say?
you know, um, Utame was one of those guys that seems like he wants to be on the fast track. Like he wanted the Usyk. I think he called out Usyk after his
Yeah.
last victory, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, and so now he's taking on. At least they said, "Hey, cool your jets. We will take on the WBC silver champ, and then we'll move in." The guy is known. He's a cruiserweight champ. He's got a little title in the heavyweight division. It's a good win for Utama if he really is the next big thing. Um, but moving them kind of fast. Hopefully that don't bite Riyadh in the rear end there. You know what I mean? Because I know he's a Turkey guy, so I know Turkey's dictating his career, just like Shiraz. You know,
Mhm.
now he passed his first test with flying colors. But do you really want to go? And Billy's a whole nother beast, right? We've seen is Billy from Africa?
Good question. I know he resides in Canada or something. Let me find that out here real quick because I think he is. Um, oh shit, what the hell? Who the hell? Okay, never mind. I typed in the wrong damn one. I didn't realize it was another
Said big
person.
titties. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it's like big Nigerian titties. No. Um, all right, here we go. He's from Cameroon. Cameroon, French Canadian.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
All
yeah.
right.
His
But
nationality, I guess, is French Canadian, but Cameroonian is where he's actually born. Yeah,
yeah,
Cameroon.
so
Yeah.
we don't know how long he was. All I'm saying is back in the day, they used to throw down, bro. When
Mm,
you got the African guys coming over here, they didn't win all the time, but they sure did take a lot of controversial decisions home,
mm.
big time, you know? So Shiraz has a whole nother animal maybe coming in front of him. You know, he better hope he better be on his P's and Q's because in Billy it might be in for an upset. I might be looking at upset on that one. And I don't think I did that for Berlanga. I hope I didn't. I might have because he was so young. But
I
this
don't know. Yeah.
yeah, I would have to look back. But these are growing pains, and all I'm saying is they're throwing their guys in kind of early. We'll see how this works in 2026. And what we have here is the
Okay.
first. Oh, there you go.
Oh
You
shit.
froze. You
Oh
froze.
shit.
I'm
Did it?
sorry, bro.
Okay. Cool. Cool. I
Yeah.
was back. In regards to those African fighters like Asuma Nelson and Ike Corte, those guys that come and fucking throw down. When you're in the ring with those guys, you pack a lunch because you're gonna be in there. You better be on your A game, otherwise it's a short night. But if it's not a short night, you're in for 12 rounds of fucking hell. So definitely do not take this lightly by any stretch, Shiraz. All right, so we kind of sort of got we mentioned him earlier, but the other Charlo, well, again, I always forget the names, but the 168 Charlo, um, as sort of accidentally gave us a date. He was on this podcast with Brian Custer, former Showtime commentator, and he said that January 31st, it looks like he'll be fighting Caleb Plant. Now, we knew that we kind of already heard rumblings that he was going to fight Caleb Plant. In their last card, Charlo fought and Plant fought, and supposedly, as long as each of them won, they would fight later on. Well, Charlo won his fight against Lamana, and then uh, Plant lost his fight against Resendiz. And basically, I would have loved to have seen Resendiz in there against fucking Charlo, but they're gonna force this shit down our throats anyway because PBC will do that shit, and we're gonna most likely get another 12-round fight out of these guys. But Charlo was on this podcast, and uh, Custer was trying to kind of egg him on and kind of get it out of him, like, dude, what, give us some news. And then he comes out and said, he's like, all right, January 31st. And he's like, oh, I shouldn't have said that. And then Custer's like, oh, you fucking dog, you. And they're all talking back and forth and shit. But so January 31st, all right, pretty decent fight. Again, I would have loved to have seen Resendiz in there instead of Charlo, but it's a grudge match, right? It's one of those grudge type fights. So we're finally going to get an answer. We're finally going to get it done. And we're going to get it in the first month of 2026. Not bad, huh?
It's not bad for the boxing diehards, but this fight's probably 5 years overdue, 3 years overdue. I seriously, both of the Charlo brothers, they've been absent for a while, man. Both mentally and physically out of the game. So I don't know who these guys are as they return. I'm gonna watch. But if Caleb Plant goes in there and totally ices him, I'm not gonna be like, oh shit, now Caleb must be back. No, no, no. You've got a lot of desperation over at the PBC right now. And I believe the Charlos are two of those guys that are been at the window going, hey, when are you gonna pay me? When are you gonna pay me, Al? When are you gonna pay me? So he's kind of like, all right, I gotta fight for you. But there was no build up to this.
Well, there still may be. I mean, it said January 31st, so it's still
No, I'm saying as in fights, as in like wins.
Okay.
And
Oh,
these
gotcha,
two
gotcha.
are
Well, they were trying, but Plant didn't keep his end of the deal, basically.
yeah, Plant didn't keep his end of the deal. Charlo's only had one fight in 10,000 years, so it's stuff like that. I'm talking about their momentum, like where they're at in their careers. It's way overdue. I will watch. Hopefully it's got a stat card. But I'm not impressed with these guys trying to make a comeback. That Adrian Broner's trying to get a fight. The Keith Thurmans of the world trying to get a fight. Now you have the Charlos out here trying to get a fight. Like, where were you guys 3-4 years ago? When everyone was on the wrong side of the street and all that other bullshit that you guys are fucking blowing hot air out there. Why didn't you sign to fight Crawford immediately when Crawford was fucking over the ring talking shit to you? Like, why right at that moment? Why wasn't that fight on the table?
Yeah.
Now you're broke. Now
right.
I'm supposed to be interested.
Yeah. Now it's like, Al, you still there? Hey, you still got some of that money? You still got some of that investors' money? You put together?
And then Adrian, seriously, dyeing your beard, bro. Like, I'm glad you look young again, but you can't give your fans like 5 years of you looking like old man, and then just try to dye your shit and be like, look, I'm back. I'm gonna win now because I dyed my hair. Selling tickets, bro.
On goddamn, right?
Selling tickets. That's all they're trying to do.
He dyed his hair? What? No kidding.
The new video he has out, he was all lined up. Oh yeah, he's gonna make a comeback. Maybe did you say the PBC fight's coming up? He'll probably be in the stands trying to get Al to give him a fight. But yeah, his newest video, he was all lined up. I mean, like I said, he looked good. Yes, he does look like he's getting in shape again for a comeback. But
I'm over here trying to look for the fucking video. Shit, I didn't know he went to that extent. Like, at this point, he has as much fucking gray hair as we fucking have. I'm sure, for all the stress that he's.
Well, you haven't seen what they do. They actually like spray paint their shit, bro. You ain't never seen that, and then they line it. Oh yeah, all those
that.
I've
seen that. Yeah,
they are not real. I didn't know that, bro. I've been blown away so many times, bro. I was like, what? That's not a barber. That's an artist.
Yeah, I have seen that. All I remember was Friday Night Fights and Just for Men hair color. So I'm like, oh, Just for Men hair color. That's all I know. You would still dye that shit. Yeah, I didn't know you would like graffiti that bitch on your fucking face. I didn't know all that shit. People that put up those like things, yeah, those stencils and shit. You got some fucking crap on your cheek. I didn't know they went.
I believe that he had the whole Rick Ross thing going. That's what he had that beard going on. I know it wasn't his. It was not his.
No.
So, anyways, they all seem a little desperate over there right now.
Yeah. Well, at least they didn't. Didn't Floyd get like what did he get?
Implants.
Yeah, but he got like not implants. So there's another word like hair plugs, but for his face. But for his face too, to grow a beard.
Oh yes.
Never grew a beard up until recently. That shit was kind of weird, but yeah, wow. I mean, hey, where does he have the money for this?
Shakur just got his teeth done.
Oh, did he?
Yeah,
that's been a PBC thing for a hot fucking minute, man. I've seen all the Charlos, fucking Gervonta Davis, and all those dudes, but always getting their fucking teeth done. Yeah, well, Spence kind of needed it because they got them shits knocked the fuck out from that damn steering wheel. Yeah, I mean, he had a brand new everything, quite frankly, a new orbital bone and every fucking thing while he's at it. But the teeth on top of that as well. No kidding. Shakur, no, damn.
They're saying the gap is gone.
Oh, that's it.
No. I mean, it's all.
No.
He got a new grill, but I mean, seriously, that gap was pretty big, bro.
Well, what I'm saying is, you could have worn braces. You could have worn, or not even maybe braces, but those aligners that you can remove, those trays. You can fix that without having to fucking put on a brand new shit of fucking teeth. Because if you ever seen the way they fix their teeth, they grind them shits down. They grind the natural tooth down so they can put the fucking veneers or whatever They go that degree, and I mean, look, I would much rather, even if I would much rather like take care of my actual teeth to as much as I possibly can and preserve them than to have some fake ass shit in your fucking mouth. But I'm gonna look that up. I didn't know you had
And then they have a gel now that grows your teeth back, so you don't even have to take care of your teeth anymore.
what? Okay, I might look into that actually because
Yeah.
no
Yep.
kidding.
They came out with the gel that grows it back.
Damn. It wasn't some like Instagram scam shit. No,
I hope not. Half the shit, Miguel, I send to my wife, she sends back to me like, "Please, you didn't put this public, did you?" No, I'm just kidding. No,
like,
but there is
who else did you tag in this fucking thing?
there is way too much bullshit online now, and I'm sorry, I do not fact check everything, but that's what I've seen.
Damn. I'm gonna have to fact check that. I mean, I'm all down with teeth whitening. I'm down with straining your own teeth, but don't make any no fucking fake teeth, man.
Did you see they can transportal a smell now?
They can what?
The transportal thing, where you send one.
No.
Yeah,
Holy shit. No, I didn't know that.
that's what they're saying. So soon, maybe a phone when you get a food commercial.
No. Can you fart into your phone? Is that what
That's gonna be.
that's gonna be the first thing people are gonna do, dude.
Only men would think about that, bro. But yes, there is gonna be. That's dude. That's
gonna be the first thing.
OnlyFans part 2. Damn, bro, you're
Yeah.
so good. You're so on time. We got to get that started right now.
All right.
Fuck.
It's like check out our OnlyFans thing.
The girls are gonna be like, "I'm just done working out. Yes, I'll buy it for $50. Put it through the phone, baby."
Yeah. Like I had some Taco Bell this fucking morning. I'm working it out.
Working out. Don't you get rates on me?
Okay. I'm just saying. I mean, it's like working out. What does that mean? They just took some protein shake. That's just as worse. That's just as bad. That's just as bad as fucking.
My drink was melting.
It's like my nostrils. Shit. Can I get a new nose while we're at it? Fuck, new teeth, new beard. Can I get a new nose, please?
So I got a lot of stuff for you guys to Google to see if it's true. Then get back to me next week.
Right. Fact check us, please, guys. Fact check us by all means. Oh Lord. But back to this. Good damn. All right. Charlo plan for the 31st of January. Looking forward to that to some extent. Not as much as I would have if this fight was fucking 4 or 5 years ago. All right. One of these last stories that I wanted to get into here. This is, and I'm not sure what to think about this, but it has been reported that we're gonna get a boxing fight between Katie Taylor and Ronda fucking Rousey. Now, I second Andrew's emotion. He said this many times before. If it's not in the fucking octagon, it doesn't fucking matter. I don't want to see it anymore. We're already seeing it, right? Especially with the ladies. Sorry, ladies, we're already seeing it. Yes, we've seen Clarissa Shields enter the MMA cage. It went well to some degree, but this is terrible. This is terrible for fucking Ronda. What people are around her to be like, yeah, what yes people are around her to give her this idea. How the hell this came up, I have no idea. But already everybody, their mama's got an opinion, and so do we. MMA media coming out saying, who the hell is letting her do this? Current UFC bantamweight champion Kayla Harrison says, well, that's easy money for Katie Taylor. Former UFC featherweight champion Chris Cyborg saying, well, I once saw Ronda Rousey shadow boxing and the shadow won. Good Lord, people just letting her have it. I don't know what she's thinking. Katie Taylor herself is on a video. I saw in a video, I think it was Fight Hype, saying, I just found out about this morning. So I'm not sure where the reports came from, where she's just first hearing about it. But regardless, she was down because, of course, she would be down. Why the fuck wouldn't you? You're like a multiple-time champion and Olympian in boxing, and you're going to be, in your backyard, your neck of the woods, right, in a boxing ring. Terrible idea for Ronda Rousey. Maybe she proves it's all wrong. Highly doubt it. But when I first read this, I'm like, no, enough of these goddamn circus shits. But I guess we might actually get it. Andrew, what was your first impression when you read this fight was going to go down? Or this boxing fight, I should say.
Okay. So I don't think it's true because of what Katie Taylor said about her not even knowing about it. I mean, come on. If there was really negotiating going on a big what on paper would seem like a big fight, right? You're talking about a big American star in Ronda Rousey going up against a big, great British star in Katie Taylor.
She's Irish, by the way.
Irish, excuse me. Damn it. Irish. Katie Taylor. Sorry.
Close enough, though.
So I think she would have been in the loop, is what I'm saying.
Mhm.
I don't think Katie Taylor's people go, hey, guess what? We negotiated a whole fight for you without you even knowing it.
Right.
Right. So I was like, I want to know who put it out. Did Katie Taylor put this out to try to get her name to go viral? Or is Ronda Rousey throwing her name out there to see if anything will bite? What I don't understand is who's protecting the MMA so good that a private, not the UFC, but somebody in the MMA world can't get a boxing champion to go into the fucking cage already. Why can't we overpay? This company just made $7 billion. And listen, I'm not saying the UFC, but there's got to be money in the fucking MMA world if a company's worth $7 billion, right?
Mm-hmm.
So why can't we do it already? Like, why do we keep having these MMA guys coming into boxing trying to make $1 when why isn't Ronda Rousey going, bitch, I will give you $2 million to fight me in a cage and then make it? I think it's doable. I think if you put Katie Taylor in a cage against Ronda Rousey, you can make $2 million for Katie Taylor through promoting, through pay-per-view. The Netflix
but we don't want to see a chick fight, right? We want to see the dudes. We don't want to see like the.
It doesn't matter. I think the MMA world loves girls fights.
No,
I think they're all in on Katie Taylor stepping in the octane, and then they would get us too because I would watch it too. Yes, I watched Holly Holmes, so I would watch it too. I don't understand why. What the fuck? Why do we keep tying one hand behind our back? Because that's what they're doing when they're setting up these fights with boxers. You're basically going in there with one hand tied behind your back. Let's make it even. It's a street. Hey, Joe Rogan said it, so I'm not disrespecting anyone. It's a street fight, right? This is the realest thing to a street fight. Is what Joe Rogan used to say about the MMA world.
It's the closest thing to
closest thing. There you go. I'm not trying to disrespect. I'm just saying. To a boxer I think has gotten into a few fights on the street, right? Well, there you go, motherfucker. Now they want to give you $5 million to do it, $2 million to do it. And let's get this thing going already. Like, there's a whole sports that's been untapped. If we're really doing these special exhibition matches and trying to make millions, come on, boxing, wake up. These MMA guys, they're desperate. Ronda has to be desperate. If she threw this out there without even calling Taylor, I'm not lying. She's, it looks a little desperate, right? So I just wish we'd go into the cage already and get it over with. Now, people say the boxer is scared, and I gotta disagree because that bare knuckles thing is some bullshit. And I've seen a few professional fighters do that in a heartbeat, right? And they're coming out of there with their fucking nose like this, fucking eyes closed. This one's split all the way up to their fucking forehead.
Dude, I saw one yesterday, no joke. I think it was an older one. This dude had 3 gashes on his forehead. He went 1, 2, 3, and he was bald. He was bald. That dude would just crack, and he fucking won. This dude fucking won, dude. He won, man. And I was like, holy shit. When he went to the corner and they cleaned it off, that fucker had like eyelids. That shit was crazy. I was like, dude, oh gosh.
Yeah, it's a gross. It's a crazy sport. So I see craziness. We see these guys doing this shit. I think if the MMA promoter is go, hey, I'll give you millions. I mean, they're doing for bare knuckle, not for millions, right? I think they do it in a heartbeat, get their ass kicked, whatever. And then the MMA world gets their laughs, right? Fuck it. Let's tap in.
Yeah.
Fuck.
You know how much?
Hey, I can tell you what, Usyk might be the first one that does it.
Oh yes, he keeps saying that, doesn't he?
He's fucking saying it, bro.
And but he's saying it with Jake Paul.
Jake Paul, but it doesn't matter. He said it before.
Yeah.
Usyk might be the first one that really puts their foot down on the UFC. Like, hey, I'm a willing. What's up?
Yeah. Damn. That would be insane. I do like every time he keeps saying that Usyk, I'm just like, what? Like, what is it? And he uses specifically. He says the octagon, right? And mind you, he doesn't say like the MMA cage or anything like that because the more what is it like? The more popular term is the octagon, even though that's specifically to the UFC because motherfuckers copyrighted that shit. But when he says that, I'm like, is he talking about the UFC here, or are we talking about like MMA in general? Like, what the fuck? I assume he just means MMA in general. Huh?
Do you think they have blackballed the event? Miguel, I don't understand how this event hasn't been made by a non-UFC promoter. You can Don King it and it would work. You could literally tell two guys.
You know, I was going to ask you that. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you go ahead. We're talking. Go ahead.
A lot of people that they don't tend to like general fans, casual fans. They don't understand sometimes how the pay structure is for MMA and boxing. Boxing, you can go out and find, maybe a casino who's willing to fork up the fight purses. In the UFC specifically, the UFC bankrolls this shit, or I think that's the word. But it's basically it's their money, like they make it from other places, but they're the ones that decide how much the fighter gets, and it comes out of the UFC's pocket, in other words. For someone like Canelo who would get this DAZN deal, that's a big fucking thing. The money's coming from different places. I always ask myself, can't this be done in MMA? Like, isn't there a point where some Don King motherfucker can be out here and be like, hey, these two guys, let me go ahead and find some, I don't know, prince of fucking Egypt because he wants to host a fight over there, and we got, Masvidal and Diaz 3 or whatever the fuck, right? Like, why doesn't that box or I guess pay structure model, why isn't it being used in MMA? I guess
in Ngannou versus AJ was huge. Could you imagine what Turkey would have put that thing if it was in a cage?
Yeah,
on the pyramid. They literally would have. I'm just kidding.
On a fucking camel, entering the cage on the fucking camel, the way fucking Ryan Garcia came into the Batmobile or some shit. One of those, a sedan, being carried by fucking virgins or something like that. One of those kind of things.
Carried by virgins. He went deeper.
They're like carrying, feeding them grapes and shit as they're walking into the ring.
The guy was all, no, he said virgins. Is it 40 virgins, Miguel?
Yeah, right. The Vestal virgins or whatever, right? Those I don't know. I'm trying to relate to their culture. Sorry if I'm butchering it here.
But no, seriously, the magnitude of this fight is so huge. Miguel, I don't understand why it has never been created. All of the big MMA retiree guys, why they have never been able to sit down with one professional boxer and be like, dude, we can make so much fucking money. One night, one fight. Who's holding this up? It's almost like somebody came to a board meeting and they said, no money in the world can get us to do this. I don't know, dude. I don't fucking know, but I don't get it. You see, these guys are committing suicide, getting in the boxing ring. Like I said, one hand tied behind their back. They're doing that willingly.
Yeah. Yeah, but so as of right now, there's a possibility of it happening in early 2026. I cannot see any other outcome other than a one-sided ass whooping. Now, let's put things in perspective a little bit. Katie Taylor is relatively small. She's fought at 135, 130, tried, I think, 147 at one point. I'm sure I'm misremembering, but she had a couple of attempts, I think, or was it 140 that she tried, went back down to 140, 135, one of the two. Ronda is a big chick, again, her striking sucks, but I want to say in Olympic judo or judo, there are bigger gaps in weight classes. So she used to fight the bigger chicks. She was a bigger fucking chick. So when she came into MMA, she dropped down, she dropped some weight and was fighting at 135. So they can probably make it there. She has, I'm talking about Ronda, has since, of course, retired from MMA. fought or joined the WWE, had a run there, has had a child. I don't know if she's going to be able to come back down to something like 135, or they're going to do some sort of catch weight, which might not benefit Katie Taylor. She has fought as heavy, if my memory serves me right, as 140. Maybe they can do 140, 145. I'm not sure if that would benefit Ronda to any degree, at least being a little bit heavier. Maybe she can take the shots a little bit better. I don't know. I'm just looking way too into it. It might just be, it might just, because mind you, Katie Taylor is not exactly a knockout puncher by any stretch. You know, she did beat Serrano by just landing a fuck ton of shots. And, you know, she moves, and maybe some headbutts too while we're at it. But it's not like, I don't suspect that she's going to get, Ronda's going to get knocked the fuck out. I don't think so, at least not from somebody who hits the way Katie does. But again, we're talking about a professional boxer who punches harder than the average woman her size. So I don't know if she's going to have the pop to hurt her, but maybe Ronda's size would help her to some degree be able to take the shots. I don't know, but it's just one of those sideshow shits that we're like, really, we're going to get this again?
And hopefully we don't. This one doesn't seem to have the interest. It really doesn't. Maybe in the UK or in Ireland,
Oh yeah,
they will. Even though that's not even that many. That's not big. It's not big enough to drive anything.
yeah, I don't think so.
No.
But we'll hear something in the next coming days, and I'm sure weeks. As I said, the clip that I saw of Katie Taylor saying she just heard about it this morning. So who knows how legit this story is? Maybe it's just all fake news that we read online, which does happen. So hopefully that is the case, and maybe it was real at one point, and somebody's like, Ronda, don't do it. It's like, okay, you're right. Yeah, we'll send to this. All right, so that's pretty much all the stories that we got for today. A few things happened between Sunday and today, but Andrew, was there anything else that you wanted to add in here before we call it a show? Because not much. I was checking my phone right now for some last minute stuff, but nothing seems to be popping up.
Nope. Got good fights Saturday night. Maybe I call them. I don't know. I might be home.
All right, yeah, and it's not going to be no UK or no Saudi Arabia fight. It's going to be in the evening, mind you. It's coming from San Antonio. Unfortunately, Texas has a reputation of having some really shitty decisions from their judges. So hopefully, we don't get some fucking robberies or some shit like that happen on Saturday. But yes, let's not forget this Saturday, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I think 3 p.m. is the early prelims. PBC. Amazon Prime pay-per-view, Isak Pitbull Cruz versus Lamont Roach, or the Reaper Roach Jr. On BBC pay-per-view this Saturday. Definitely looking forward to that this weekend here. All right, well, that is going to wrap it up for us here today. For my co-host, Andrew, don't get it twisted, Lapachet. This is Miguel Antonio Barragan, aka Fight Fiend Migs, and this has been the Mad Boxing Show. Thank you so much for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your week. We'll see you guys on Sunday. Peace.